Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to playing Mooncrash. Boy do I wish most all games with menus did not have super annoying getting louder, getting quieter uh, background music. I do want menus to have some slight background music. It's not really realistic to expect it to just be totally silent, but there's no reason that it needs to try to act like an attract screen as if this game was playing on a screen in some kind of video game store to attract people's attention and make them think about buying it. That's just not what's happening at any realistic level for a game like Prey or for a game that would have come out during the time of Prey. So we have this other story objective test fire now with Riley Liu, and inherently we need to play with Riley Liu anyways. The truth of the matter is, until we stop getting this story objective started, until we get this guy through the Mimic Portal, we're always going to want to go to the Pythias Lab. Because we now have the possibility, or pretty much the guarantee, that one area will be powered down and one area will be without oxygen. You need the helmet, and you don't want to spend the money on the helmet. And that's really where this is just going to come down, is this next run basically needs to be pretty frugal, and we're still like in a bad position. Like, we have a wrench all the way up to elite. There's wrench advanced, wrench elite, and then wrench standard. So there's apparently 4 levels of wrench, whereas we only have a Q beam at standard and Q beam advanced. I guess we never really got the Q beam crafting grid, and honestly we probably don't need that. Then psychostatic cutter standard, or default, and then standard. So yeah, I guess if we were to count here, there's probably 2 here, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then a massive 3 there, and then 3 there. So 16 potential more weapon fabrication plans we're looking for. And then, let's see, are we really missing any bullets? I don't think we are. Yeah, there's no other gun that we're missing bullets from. As far as grenades, I think that's probably all the grenades that exist. As far as consumables, we very possibly have all the consumables in the game that it's going to give us. And as far as equipment, it's very possibly all the equipment we're ever going to get. So finding new fabrication plans may be pretty unlikely to happen. Alright. So I'm doing a loadout here of just 3,350. Alright. Kill 1 harvester with a Typhon Spore. That's an interesting thought. Alright. So, think all this through. Almost every run, we have to go exactly to the center of the crater, which then probably do Pythias Lab, and then ideally you would never go back to the like, you would never go back to the center area, and instead you would just use the tram system to get where you would want to go. But you will obviously run through these kinds of areas. Like, if even a single person escapes. So you know what? I'm just gonna fly. Fly and run and fly some more and run and fly some more. And this may very well just prove that you don't actually need the propulsion system upgrade as much. Nothing gets us back to that corruption level 0. But fortunately, it does seem like nothing is really pushing us further towards a corruption level like 2 by default either. So the game's being fairly generous there. Let's see. The pod is malfunctioning in the crater, which maybe means that you could repair it. Nope, it says Moonworks. Okay. Power. Moonworks are unpowered. Radiations, everything's normal. Oxygen, no oxygen in Moonworks. Okay. So, everything seems to be... Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's really statuses here, other than perhaps where the supply closets are moving. So, with oxygen out in the Moonworks, and power out in the Moonworks, and then the tram broken in Pytheas Lab, then it does kind of come down to perhaps a question as far as would we be able to pull everything else off in Pytheas Lab, or is there just not that much going on in Pytheas Lab? We kind of need to check anyways. So, I'm going to take this and take this. Place that. And we're ignoring the crew annex, which, I mean, the only other option would be to go up here. Almost certainly you get through this area, and then there's my hope would be that this control module receptacle at some point would become open, but it doesn't seem like it really is going to do that. We've got a memory here. Is this where the test fire memory is? Find a memory marker in the crater. Well, we found it. Okay, so we'll focus in on that. I think that should work fairly well. And then it does seem like there's potentially different controls here that is going to test fire something. We wouldn't have enough control receptacles though to power up all 4 of these and have them work at the same time. We would need to basically go kill some harvesters. Phantom Resurrection Inhibitor chipset. Okay. Let's recycle things before we start. And just general like neuromod stuff I don't think really matters. So I don't think that there's particularly much of a reason to craft much of anything. Just waiting for like resources probably for delay time loops, or possibly you would go for neuromods. Yeah, eventually we'll unlock more stealth, which would help. Like detect hidden mimics and submerged moon sharks. It's not really even something you need. And it is dangerously getting down to the point where I may very well unlock everything just because I play the game too much, and really I should more focus on just finishing the game completely before I unlock everything.
Hey, Riley. It's Noel Benson. I think we're.
Benson. You're new, aren't you?
Well,
Of course you are. Your shuttle arrived on December 3rd. A transfer from our North Office. Before that, you worked as an adjunct on various unremarkable projects. None of which entitles you to address me in such a familiar way.
I didn't mean.
It's Madam Director or Dr. You. Choose one.
Yes, Doctor. Director. You. Please forgive me.
Now, what do you have for me?
I just wanted to report that the crater towers are ready for a full-scale test.
Did you solve the power supply?
Yes. Well, nearly so. The control modules burn out after each activation. But the results are positive. All the Typhon in the vicinity are completely destroyed all at once.
What about human subjects with Typhon-based neuromods?
We ran several tests on P000. Once the subject had more than a few neuromods installed, they were destroyed. Same as the Typhon.
Good work, Dr. Benson. I want to activate the towers myself for the full-scale test.
Yes, Madam Director. I believe Dr. Boyle is on her way right now with the control modules. That's strange. Dr. Boyle. Claudette? No, wait!
So we don't have really enough control mods to pull this off. Like, easy solution here would be to do this on one, and then like, I don't know, maybe that would just finish the quest to start with. Otherwise we're gonna need to really go to Moonworks before anything else. Which, alright. So we're gonna take these two.
Calibrating. Scanning. Neuroimaging cycle is at near peak level.
Is this Moonworks? No. This is Moonworks. So we activate this. The tower's on. And that got me a nice little cutscene and killed everything. And that destroyed all of that. So, as far as objectives go, that was that. Okay. And I would assume, let's just take a quick trip around here. Yes, there would be massive amounts of other things that you could find. Did I kill the moon shark somehow? Or did I kill everything around here? No, we didn't kill everything around here. Oh yeah, and if the repair person could come back and repair them, then we could potentially use them multiple times over and over again.
Hello, hello.
Instead of just abandoning them here, which is what I'll do. Right. That took way too many attempts to do something so simplistic. Alright. So, engineer definitely would be our next focus as a character to play as anyway, so... Oops. There was some glue bullets. Doesn't matter if we don't get those. This area is now a repair area instead of a hacker door, which definitely highlights the randomization that seems to just by default always take place. Just doing the test fire though introduces an interesting thing. Ooh, advanced shotgun fabrication plan, because now, instead of potentially losing a lot of resources on a bad run, you're almost guaranteed success to get at least a decent amount of your resources back by just test firing. If you can run to the center of the crater, if you can take 2 of those control cells and destroy 2 of them, you get about 10,000, and then you can just try and run and get through a room.
Attention everyone. We have a very special announcement from our facility director.
Prevents a weaver from resurrecting your body. Interesting. There's basically nothing our character can do here. We can kind of secure the area somewhat fast, and then we should just move forward towards escaping. Yeah.
This is Director Rydo. We'll soon begin the new Titan Towers in the crater. Our specialists assure me the burst energy is harmless to humans. Nonetheless, make sure you are behind greater shield when the announcement comes.
I don't know if there's a phantom somewhere around here or what. Where'd that poltergeist go? I don't think I killed it. Inherently, you're not going to run into like a control cube on somebody. So here we have like another broken control module. We don't have the code to open the door. Is the pod even in this direction? No. So. So the question here would be, you have a level 2 hack here that is not unhacked. So you're just never going to be able to escape without, what's this note? Interesting. The weapons lab code was in a different place. Yeah, you're never going to be able to get the volunteer through the portal unless you just absolutely focus on that as your main goal. Wow, that phantom had quite a lot on him. Surprising amount. Take this. Take some food. Yeah, fairly consistently, the note has just been floating there. So it's not being there is interesting. It's an interesting little twist, but I don't know if it changes too much, really. Here you have an actual key card door. So we have a control module, one control module. We need basically two. There's nothing more in there. The lighting seems fairly randomized in this game also. Alright. So you have a broken one and a working one. So we'll leave the working one. I'm just never going to use that weapon. Although in all fairness, holding on to this if I absolutely needed it instead of a wrench might make some sense. I don't know if much of this makes that much sense though. I gotta play around with this null wave transmitter at some point also. Alright. And I'm actively trying not to like waste time by multiple recycling patterns. So we leave this. We'll dissolve that. We'll leave the spare parts because we can't do anything with that anyways. We will take an anti-rad and leave it here. And then as far as food stuff, I think we could probably leave food also, and then that would work us towards a mass driver potential escape. Yeah. Meanwhile, transfer junk again. Typhon Spore versus Typhon Lure. Recycler charges. Psy-Hypnose. We can get rid of those. No wave transmitters. Just do that too. And I'm not sure if we have enough corruption level yet to use the timer. Okay. As far as the escape pod, it's in Moonwork, so there's really not much to do here. We could craft one of these, or we could craft one of these, or we could try and craft an advanced shotgun, which I think would probably be the biggest mistake of the options. But that's pretty much all we've got. Don't have enough orange, so can we get some more orange now that we are thinking about it? Well, these suit repair kits would give me orange, so it's probably worth it for another neuromod. We really are going to end up just getting all of our last few abilities as far as neuromods, and then if we continue to play, we're going to not have any like resources. It is now reasonable to use this point, lower the corruption level. Oh, I wasn't going to hold on to the disruptor, was I? Nah. That gets a much more reasonable amount of time. Also, I see we have another piece of food here. Seems like I can craft one more neuromod, so we should. Okay. Bigger Typhon abilities. Versus stealth. Yeah. So we have like 6 now. There's 13, 18 human abilities, and then 12, 22, 24, 26, 31. So there's like 48 more neuromods I could possibly get in this run. Is there anything else I'd want to drop? I would need 1 more metal and 1 more orange to get 1 more neuromod. Is that reasonable? Get rid of null wave transmitter. And a glue charge. That might get us close enough. And there's just like no reason to go that direction, really, if there's no pod there. If perhaps there was some higher chance of getting some other item, then you might consider it. But really isn't. There's a mimic somewhere around here, but I can't even see it. Yeah, and only the security guide seems like he has the actual ability to scan in and summon the other characters, which, yeah. See that lamp there jittered as if it was a mimic, when really it was just being bumped. Right. And it's just like not realistic that they're gonna find a control module. That mimic just isn't gonna want to come through that area. Okay. Still didn't get the key card for that. So let me just take a moment to recheck. Access labs, unlock. Tram status. Pythias Labs tram station is offline. So even if I was going to try and come back and fix it, I would need more control rods. Right. Maybe you need to equip some of these things faster. Feels like you would have gotten more downloadable apps than just the companions at some point. It doesn't seem like we're quite to that level. I I wonder, perhaps, if there isn't an argument to be made about the corruption level resetting. I thought about that before, as far as will the corruption level reset. If we escape quick enough. I mean, that's pretty much all we can do here. Is we could leave a care package somewhere in the office, and if we tram our way back through this, then we could get the food for the mass driver if necessary.
Riley. Things on Towers are becoming untenable. It's time to set contingencies and discuss into motion. I need you to copy everything you got onto the operator I sent you. The research, connectones, everything. Morgan was right. The Typhon are all linked, which means whatever's happening up here will likely spread to you, if it hasn't already. And this should go without saying that we keep the board out of the loop on this. They'll find out soon enough anyway. Get it done. We'll talk again soon. Oh, and Riley, be careful. I'm fairly certain you got at least one KASMA working for you.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and leave our care package here. Let's see. We have enough neuromods to get stealth there, and then we have 3 more neuromods. So we'll take that. 2. That uses all of our neuromods up. Then we search here, and then like an elite glue gun and this is useful versus his 5 liquids and 2, 3, 4, 5 foods. Okay, what else do we give possibly as useful? Derma webs might be somewhat useful. All of our default mineral material would be useful. Shotgun shells, or like we'll split that and we'll hold on to 15 shotgun shells, and just in case there is something here. And then more liquids, more food. Probably take back a liquid and instead give some bullets for the other weapons. That would make sense too. Right. And then it would just come down to, is there something here maybe to transfer? Instead of the derma web, we would give an EMP charge. Yeah. Decent care package there. now the rush is just all about uploading the data. Like, not really expecting anything to happen here.
Before you launch that operator, I need you to take one last precaution. You have the emulation Morgan was tinkering with.
That just really zoomed in.
Copy yourself. I know it seems morbid, but we can't shrink from the reality that you might make it off the moon. This will ensure at least something left of our family. No one else has to deal with what's coming. I'm putting Talos One in the dark after this. You won't be able to reach
So I'm just trying to escape before corruption level
we'll see each other
3 starts.
Goodbye, cousin.
There we go. And so we're almost just at corruption level 3 when we get this escape. So will we be almost exactly at corruption level 3 when we start the next run?
Transfer complete. Additional instructions found. Starting procedure. Erase you.bat. Destroy subject.
Yeah, it definitely feels like she wasn't expecting that. It definitely feels like Alex is a jerk and a bad guy, even amongst the Talos, the TranStar U family. So we got a massive amount of points there. Nearly like 22,000, and we only spent 3,000. Why did we get so much points? Well, 5,000 for escaping, and then Moonshark kill, so we must have killed the Moonshark. Oh, that puts us in a very nice position for the next run. Can we get the volunteer through the Mimic portal? No. This one's already been done, so that he's kind of our backup person. The escape pod, I think, is in the crew annex, and a little bird told me as far as the repair. So I think engineer is the one to play as. Now we should be in a better position. We'll buy advanced shotguns. We'll buy shotgun shells. We'll buy an EMP potentially. We still don't really have a ton of resources though, if that's what we're going for. We could buy a delayed time loop, which we probably should do that just to be certain. And then we'll buy this. We don't need to like the psychoscope, I don't think. We'll increase our points. I don't think we need the propulsion ability. Actually, do we even... Yeah, we don't even need the propulsion system at this point. Not for this run. Let's see. Increase your health for 500 doesn't sound terrible. Is there something here that would let you repair things at a higher level? No. So we're just going kind of conservative at 7,000. Kind of conservative. The test fire mission, I think in particular, was maybe designed to be a little bit shorter, and so it may be that the security officer's story mission is just always going to be very longer because it's unlocking a character, but I also wouldn't be surprised if this A Little Birdie Told Me mission actually does turn out. Alright, so look at our corruption level in the top right there. It is almost all the way, so there is no reset there, which teaches me something, certainly. Something that I can use going further in the future, that if we can escape if you can escape that area fairly quickly, or escape before the corruption goes up a level, then you can use that to your advantage. See, almost certainly though, that is a moon shark. Never did find anything special or secret back behind here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a human corpse back behind that area. You never get repairable things. Okay, we do have enough to repair this. We do have enough to repair this. Take this, take this. So I'm gonna just go up here to start with. Then there's the other one. Okay. So, control module. That did not seem like that worked particularly well. Yeah, I think what inevitably will happen is, yeah, we'll do this one. It does look like you could activate each of these towers. But I just don't know if I'm getting the points I need, and yeah, I don't think there's any chance I really have enough garbage to delay the time loop, so the time loop is going forward. So yeah, there does seem like there's a possibility that you could make good use of the engineer to clear out this area. But that's about it. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and take one here, place it here, and we're going to go check out the crew annex now. Let's check our objectives. Like, the shuttle's in the crew annex, the escape pod is in the Moonworks, and the moonshot's in the Moonworks. And so then the only reason I would go and do the Pytheas lab is to try and repair the broken thing, which honestly I probably just won't pull that off yet. We shouldn't do that anyways. We don't have repair level 3, so we don't have the right neuromod installed yet either. Right. Yeah. I'm not 100% certain that what actually happened here is that the first time I activated a thing, well, that moon shark had a delay on it. Yeah, I don't know if there's another moon shark around or if that was just the one I killed. The crew annex has been the one location where we have done the least amount of effective gameplay. It definitely feels like it is just a afterthought compared to the two previous areas. Interesting. What happens when you do that? Not too much. That could have been a lot worse, certainly. And I guess it will be interesting to see if this entire level is now going to be leveled up with flames. And the way I just instantly shot those characters, I think that really highlights a lot. Like, we need to get to the administrative level, which is basically, I think, comes down to always coming this way. Stealthing our way through here. Getting extra food. Getting the extra food sets you up again for the Moonworks shot. There's an anti-rad even. So it's basically boiling down to the idea that every time there is you go to in a different area, you then have a decent chance of also opening up the Moonworks resources. There's more than enough non-alcoholic liquid drinks. There's more than enough food. So I can leave another care package in this area, if so necessary. And I really don't have to do anything here. I can just, like, move upward.
Detected. Seek medical attention.
guess fire damage. Elite wrench. Wow. That is bad. I probably should use the corruption level reduction now, even though that's probably not the best time to use it, but just out of an abundance of caution, because it does seem like we have a high chance here of dying. I cannot get that item, whatever. Let's not waste a bunch of time trying to pick up a single item. How drunk can we get is a question certainly to ask here. Right. How valuable is getting drunk? Stores health by 1. We need a burn, so we can use that to start with. And then yeah, you don't get drunk by drinking by pressing that button. You have to come out here and specifically choose to get drunk. And so we'll drink every single bit of alcohol here. This would be interesting if this turned into you can actually drink yourself to death. Still are in a very bad position as far as what we can do with a broken switch. We have maybe a recycler grenade we can throw. 1 recycler charge. They're just inherently not going to be able to take on a lot of enemies from a distance if they... These cystoid nests, for instance. Where'd that mimic go? I have no idea where it went, and was it really worth killing that? Memory marker is upstairs. Well, by being able to reach this area, I have accomplished... Let's see, we don't have the code for this, do we? some level of safety. Standard shotgun, standard shotgun. Probably should leave one of the standard shotguns. Advanced shotgun. Okay. Let's be realistic here. An elite handgun. You definitely want to leave this one. I have a lot of resources though, so why not instead leave that. Leave that. See, I really feel like I'm mostly just trying to leave resources to be recycled, but should I leave those resources to be recycled, or should I take advantage of what I have right now? That's not a lot of shotgun shells. A standard wrench is not going to help you anyways. Hypnose. Control module, we'll leave that. Handgun. Alright, that's something of a care package. Okay. That sets me up nicely to at least start to think what we need to do. This would be kind of a weird place to leave a care package specifically for the mass driver escape. That wouldn't be that crazy to leave a care package a little bit closer to the tram. Just getting piles of resources. I feel like the game is... It's weird that the Mimic A could get through the door and open the door. It's also weird that the game is so glitchy about specifically pointing out that there is something. That's a kind of great example of there really just not being enough room. Do we ever find Alex use like code? Nope. I don't think we ever found the safe code, which maybe that's the goal here. And we blew away that guy, and yet his body just kind of disappeared. Let's see what this memory does for us. The engineer killed somebody? Why? Find a memory marker. Apparently we located a new crew. Search for his office for what happened to Brian. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Like, feels like maybe the story here would tell us some more. I don't know how it happened. I was working with Brian. We were moving a slab of lunar rock, and we just cut the loader. When the loader lost traction and gears slipped, it's my fault. The machines are my responsibility. Brian was caught under the rock. He's hurt because of me. Now this whole place is going to hell. Dr. Mizuki keeps putting me off, but I don't trust him. I'm not leaving until I find out what happened to Brian. Interesting. So we're now looking for searching. That's in the crew annex. Are we in the crew annex even? Yes, we are. You have to stop leaving your password with all your junk office. Find a better place to hide it.
This is Ken.
Oh my god, is he alive? Is he alive? Please tell me he's alive. Oh my god, I can't have done this.
Joan, please stop. You know I can't tell you.
Please. You have to tell me something. They said you could fix him. I can't have done this. You know me, Ken. You know I...
Even with the reduced gravity, the moonstone that fell on him was pretty big, Joan.
Here's the password.
I can't tell you anything. We're going to do our best.
I just need to know he's going to be okay.
Tomorrow. Let us work on him. Goodbye.
You asked for a good candidate. I've got one. He's not going to make it after cardiac arrest. You've got maybe 10 minutes to make us square as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, they chose somebody to pretend to kill for a test subject. Okay. So more shadowy corporate stuff, which all of this stuff, as far as narrative, would make a lot more sense if they just did something more with it. That, like, at the end of the day, you're really just left with a story that, yeah, there's these corporations in TranStar, and they do, and that's about it. Brian Chung need to go back to the security station at this point. Okay. Which just may put us back at Pythias Labs. I'm going the wrong way. But here's what I'm thinking. I don't know if it's best move ever. It seems like just like generically shooting at these enemies. Repair level 3, repair level 3. Oops. Almost feels like what should happen here is that the fire element should mutate the mimics, and that there should be more of this storyline thought of the mimics getting mutated. Alright. We don't have, though. We could dismantle this weapon, I guess. Dismantle this weapon. Dismantle this weapon. I'm about out of shotgun shells, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to dismantle much more. We're gonna have to drop it and drop it to repair them. We can't repair them because they require repair level 3. So drop those two. So it wasn't spare parts that was the problem. Is this as good of a person's inventory as any to leave a care package? Come back this direction, I suppose, if necessary. 1 anti-rad, then food. Do we have any stacked foods? 2 foods, 3 foods, 4 foods. We have no liquid that's not alcohol. We may very well have drunk it all. Go ahead and get drunk. 2 foods there. Alright. We did our best with what we had. We threw that recycling grenade there. That's why there's raw material. And I think we'll take the bullets. Alright, so now we're looking for Brian. Where is he? He's in the Pythias lab. Alright, that puts us in a weird position. Now, maybe not that weird of a position though. Like, if I can go in here and find 2 neuromods, which is a big if, big ask certainly, but somewhat believable that we could pull that off. 2 neuromods. There we go, we've got 2 neuromods. So we go to Pythias Labs and seems like there always is going to be a mimic there. I wonder what happens if you take off and the mimic is still in the ship. Right. Neuromod. Repair 3 now available to us. That may have hurt me a little bit on that jump. Was there something else that repair level 3 would have helped? I feel like there was something. But for the life of me, I can't remember what it would have been. You could try to put out the fires. I don't know what real value there is in that. Oh, yes. Going to Pythias Labs won't work. So, is it faster to go to Moonworks? I think it is. Why will it not work? Because we don't have any power at the crater to Pythias Labs. We took it out. Oh, which means I should have really just taken that entire care package with me, because we would have had that whole setup. We have like 50 minutes, it seems. Oh, this is a ridiculously high amount of time. That is way too much time for what it could have been. Yes, I suppose you don't go too crazy with the whole system. I guess the only other thing here would also be anti-rads. Should be a consideration. Go ahead and just use that and lower the corruption immediately. I think we could probably just craft anti-rads anyways, though, so you should think about that. Let's see. Wine we'll get rid of. We've got plenty of food. We already have an anti-rad in our inventory. Get rid of that. Cycler charge. Should we get rid of that? We've got a ridiculous amount of everything. We'll get rid of that one. We can get rid of disruptor batteries. Most of this is just food though, so. Do I even have something I really need to craft then? I could get myself like a... Yeah, let's create another control module. We'll just craft a couple of these for us. And then I think we're kind of at neuromod status. Nobody specific needs to escape via any specific escape other than I just would need one more orange. See if we can figure that out. Some of these give you orange, but at insignificantly small amounts, so yeah, with the exception of the KASMA spy, she needs to use the portal. That's about it. Everybody else is good to go via any way possible. What is this thing? It looks like a piece of paper. Let's go ahead and repair our outfit. Honestly, if I just had searched these drawers better on multiple runs, I probably would have found all the liquid resources I would have needed anyways. Let's go ahead and do this. And then we leave yet another care package. One anti-rad. There's one liquid, there's one food, there's 2 foods, there's 5 foods, there's 2 liquids, 3 liquids, 4 liquids. That's an alcohol. Come on, are we short 1 liquid? Ah. We are short 1 liquid, it seems. Alright, whatever.
Warning, air supply system malfunction. Please evacuate until repairs can be made by an engineer operator.
There we go. There you go. Come on. I could have sworn that there was a tunnel up here that let you through. Yeah. I apparently found a scan helmet at some point. Because now I'm at like infinite oxygen. But I'm not in scan mode either, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Apparently you can find helmets. Where did the guy go? Yeah, apparently you can find helmets that will give you oxygen, even though it won't give you the full psychoscope. Which, okay, that's fine. I wonder if you have to have oxygen to actually take on the mass driver escape, or you would just accidentally die.
reactivation.
How many spare parts do we have to spare, I wonder? Where did it go? Spare part here, spare part here. We can see in the Moonworks, if we place this and activate this, that should kill possibly a moon shark, or well, you would hope at least kill this shielded thing. Yeah. So I think that was probably worth it for the extra points. I would hope. Now noticeably here, still can't really get that shortcut to the Pytheas lab that you would want. Let's check the tram status on the Pytheas lab. Tram station offline. So if we are going to try to use the shuttle, we're going to need to take what we've got with us as far as this control module. That should be fine. Okay. We'll go ahead and eat to get back up to that point. Right, Pytheas lab. Here we go. This is not going to work. Thank goodness we have an EMP charge. The problem here is he may be the nightmare. It would kind of make sense that we would eventually have to fight the nightmare.
For any minor medical emergencies, please visit the trauma center just off the main lobby.
Yeah. Brian Chung is in there with a bunch of other people. So what is our goal? Destroy Brian Chung's phantom body, which means we are now being asked to set up for a big fight. So before we do that, let's see if we should leave this control box. There's our care package, certainly. Like the food And mass driver stuff just doesn't even matter. Spare parts will take 2. And we will leave you with, I think, Q-beam, gun, can't even fit. Really don't even have Q-beam resources though to leave for them. Meanwhile, we can just recycle. It's not what I meant to do. I meant to just go ahead and leave the rest of these resources. And we'll think about, I guess I don't have any more room anyways. Neuromods. Need one more neuromod, or we could do impact calibration, or we could do electrostatic burst. I think our best thing to do here is just impact calibration and use all of the neuromods up. We're just going to see if we can repair this. Still would need the hacker. For that. So ideally we succeed here, and then we take the tram back to the like ideally you would succeed in this fight, which is a big ask, and then you take the tram back to this. Alright. Is anything here label this particularly as containment unit A versus containment unit B? Nope. That's containment unit A. Okay. There, our corruption level goes up more. Maybe I can convince the Brian Chung to come this way. Yes, I can. Alright, so he's not too dangerous if we can drag him away. Alright, so now we are off to the crew annex. Alright, well, let's get out of here then. Back to the crew annex we go. Looks like I may be low on shotgun shells. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and run. Alright. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I needed the control things, didn't I? Well, how well can you run directly past one of those, I guess, is the question. So far, so good. This also gives me the chance to craft some shotgun shell bullets, which, yeah, that would be useful. Neuromods versus shotgun shells. We don't even have enough for shotgun shells, so make a neuromod. We've got nothing really to recycle. Alright, so do I literally not have any shotgun shells? I thought I just picked some up. Eat. Eat that. Eat that. Eat that. Eat that. Eat that. Eat that. Should just use a med kit. You know what? In all fairness, let's leave some med kits for somebody else. I don't need that many. Right. And for some reason we are short on shotgun shells, and I'm just not going to worry about it. Instead, opting to run. Even my handgun shells seem to be low. I don't think I'm killing the Phantom. My only hope here is that we get the tram and we get a nice care package inside the crew annex, but I don't know if I really left a bunch of bullets in the crew annex, although there might be a security station near the crew annex that I haven't completely searched. Timing wise though, this doesn't really feel we've got food care package and that's pretty much it. Where are we going on the map? Administration level is escape. Residential level is down. Fire. There's fire all over here. just gonna wrench elite kill these guys. Right trigger for a health kit, right trigger for another health kit. Then we'll start eating. I'm gonna right trigger for another health kit. Repair our suit a couple times. Eat some more. Like, see, that nearly killed me again. Alright, let's just see if we can find an email here. This is just unfair. Apparently we're supposed to go back to Moonworks at this point. So we probably should double check what the quest is here. And definitely I'm at a point now where I'm just enjoying the game and playing it. Not really a lot to criticize. We've bred enough familiarity of these levels that even if they have slight varieties to what they're doing, it's not that varied. Let's see. Neuromod for 3. Can we just take that? Okay. Small bird carved from a lunar rock by Brian Chung for Joan Winslow. The bird is part of a larger statue featured in the Moonworks tram station. And our objective here is to... Brian left something for me. I'm scared to even look, but I have to. I don't know how lonely I was until now. So she was in love with him. Of course, it's something beautiful and kind and wonderful like him. I have to see this through or I won't be able to live with myself. He deserves much better. So we now are just placing this in the tram terminal. You would kind of hope that the tram terminal areas when there's no oxygen. So this is you. And there's 5,000 points. Okay. The little bird told me objective is now complete. There's like 3 more neuromods just in the trash can. Okay. So now we escape by the shuttle, I assume. There's a little bit too much of a danger escaping by the moonshot. We could potentially try to do that, but yeah. Both the escape pod and the mass driver are in the Moonworks. Mimic portal is in the Pytheas lab. So going back to the crew annex and escaping by shuttle. We have a lot of stuff on us, but arguably not enough bullets to really do anything. So we are just mad dashing. Just And at a certain level, there is just this question about inside a building, is a mad dash flight big enough? Or do we have... I don't think we had an EMP. And if we had modded ourselves, for instance, with more Typhon abilities, then opening that gate would have definitely been difficult. Yeah, you would almost make an argument to leave these weapons, but it just kind of doesn't matter. Main thing to do here would be use up your neuromods and call the victory. That being said, now would be about the time you would also say this should be the end of the run because it's just taken so long as far as just making YouTube videos. But we're not at that point really at all. I guess inherently we are in a decent position to have the security guard escape via the mass driver as the last character. That got us 42,000 points. What got us that much points? Killing moon sharks, potentially. Repairing objects with repair 2 and repair 3. Corruption level bonus in the sim gave us a lot. But yeah, overall, nothing huge. Story mission was 5,000. Now we have a new incoming message from Basilisk exiting the simulation. I'm surprised about that. Why that would trigger now instead of later. Maybe it triggers every time you finish a story mission.
Basilisk to module 13. I'm just checking the oxygen level since the impact. Can you please run a diagnostic on the scrubbers? There should be a workstation. I'm powering it up now. It's self-explanatory. Basilisk out.
So I wonder if maybe there's a secret. Peter, this one's for you. Run.exe. Unpacking executable. Divert emergency O2 to emergency tanks. Question mark. Okay. Charging emergency tanks. Which I imagine that's how they're going to try and kill you, is that they never had the emergency tanks charged in the first place. Charge complete. Okay. So, yay. Now we potentially won't die. And then potentially we, well, I don't know. You'll have oxygen and then you'll just be stuck in this space. I wouldn't be surprised if there is somehow a mimic that is on the ship, on the exterior or something like that. But very noticeably, being forced to come out and do all of that seems kind of silly. Might as well have just been a cutscene. Okay. So the next move is we want to try to escape in the escape pod with this custodian, and that way we can also hack her, hack the computer open for the Scilabs, which then inherently means give her an advanced shotgun. I think you definitely make an argument now to have more shotgun shells. A couple EMPs. Typhon lure itself may not be terrible. Delay time loop? Yeah, let's take like 2 of those. It probably wouldn't hurt to have a med kit. With this amount of resources, it also would not hurt to have like 8 neuromods just to start with. Propulsion system, escape pod navigation chip, psychoscope not so much necessary. Propulsion system faster, I think, still somewhat useful, and then increasing your maximum health is somewhat useful. This is a big bet we're going with, because we may straight up just not have time. Like, we're already at corruption level 4. Like, you basically, with each character, needed probably 2 delay times to start with. And yeah, we now have a new stability report. Nightmare Typhoon, an anomaly of corruption dedicated to hunting your avatar crew member. Fewer trauma centers. Corruption level increases faster. Known variables changing. Okay. Our corruption level right now can just be lowered. As far as neuromods go, hacking level 4. Perfect. Okay. Escape using the escape pod. The escape pod is in Moonworks. We've never actually done the escape pod in Moonworks before, but first we've got to go to the Pythias lab, or we don't go to the Pythias lab at all, and we give up on saving the volunteer. Like, it makes a lot of sense though to try. Yeah, all the killing though of Mooncrash I don't think really does anything for you in the long run. Like, they do just seem like they respawn every time there's a corruption level increase, or every time you're just out of the area quickly enough. And at some level, maybe the game, you become so overpowered that even killing moonsharks and nightmares is really not a major challenge. At some level here, just the audio of what is attacking you also kind of gets explained away. Right. This only requires level 4 hacking anyways, so I guess the question would be, it'd be interesting to find out what the level 5 hacking is needed for. It could be supply rooms, which, yeah, we really have not done anything with supply rooms. Let's see. So you gotta stabilize it, you gotta open the gate. That's basically it. And yeah, we'll go ahead and take these health kits. And then here we go. We just make a mad dash to the tram station. And call a tram and go to the Moonworks. And it will just be a matter of the Moonworks. Interesting. So a simple lift attack killed me. Well, if anything, I guess that's going to just save us some time. This also puts us in a nice position where we really don't have to buy too much with this guy. Like, just a reasonable amount of shotgun shells is probably it. We'll give him one EMP just in case, and we'll take a delay time loop, which was actually too expensive, so but we do have another character we're going for after this. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to waste any more points on anything else, and there's really no reason to use the escape pod module. Yeah, I don't think I even need this much. Like that, the only thing that could go wrong here is if we somehow didn't start at the beginning of the Pythias lab. This really should just be a straight shoot in which we don't have to fight anything at all. I think there's just like a tentacle nest behind me in that spot. So it's just a lot of setup of other characters to let this guy through. Alright, so stabilize. Open the door and go through. And no real cutscene around that at all. Congratulations, you escaped using the portal. Remember, successive escapes on the same run lead to increasingly larger sim point rewards. So I spent, I think, about 7,000 at most for that character and got 13,000 points back. That being said, I'd spent a lot more points on the previous character. So now the volunteer story mode, it's all in your head, has started, which maybe that is just going to be a story narrative very much like the main game. This guy's already done it, it gets worse. So we are just setting up this guy. Like if we were to give him an advanced shotgun to start with, it's still probably worth it to do that. Give him a reasonable amount of EMPs and stuff. We'll take a delay time loop. We'll take a med kit or two. I think that's probably worth it. Do we need anything else? He's going to be out of oxygen, but I think his oxygen supplies is probably going to be fine anyways. Extra points. Extra health, I will say. Propulsion system also. We need that to do the trick we're going for. At a certain level, I guess you could potentially secure yourself right at the top of the tower and wait for your corruption level to go up to get a higher multiplication in your score. But I just don't see myself ever really doing that. It definitely makes a lot more sense to me to ensure victory first and foremost, instead of push my luck for a level 5 corruption. I still kind of feel like, though, that there should be a little bit. There we go, we didn't even need to use an EMP. There should have been a point where these gates just were depowered by default, it feels like, and then we would not have to do the trick of using the EMPs the whole time. And the basic challenge that they're presenting is getting ignored. This guy has like infinite oxygen too. Let's go use that. As far as mass driver, we are just now ready to go. I don't think it's particularly worth your time to fight or encounter anybody. We'll just sneak around this way. We have also repaired this, and I guess that was another thing to remember. Although, honestly, it kind of doesn't matter on the way down. It might matter a little bit on the way up. The main challenge that you're going to run into now is simply getting in the tower without fighting people, which I can try this way, but I could also just use my EMP. So we'll grab that.
Typhon material detected.
Let's see. Grab that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to grab.
Area secure.
This is the tightest timer you have in the whole run. A full minute to run down this way. It still really isn't anything. Just use your projection. Now we do run into the problem here now where we've done pretty well, and arguably there really is only enough room here for 2, maybe 5 more runs before it's just going to feel a little frustrating, a little repetitive. We still need the hacker to escape via escape pod and start her story mission. We still need to finish the volunteers' story mission, but the engineer's story mission, the security guard's story mission, and I believe the director's story missions are already done. So we are 3/5 of the way done with all the KASMA things, it seems. That gave us 10,000. We spent maybe 8,000. Crew escapes in a single run gave us 8,000 for the 4th character. So maybe you get 16,000 if you get all 5 of them out. So that would kind of make sense. 1,000 for the first escape, 2,000 for the second, 4,000 for the next, 8,000 for the next, 16,000 for the next. Yeah. So the big bonus is all 5 members escaping. Alright. So, as far as progress goes, we've unlocked all the characters. We've only not escaped with the custodian. We have the volunteer and custodian story. And so we may very well be left with escape of 5 crew members in a single run. And that may just never happen. I have to remind myself that if I am just going to spend like a lot of wasted deceased, no reason for death provided. Interesting. Why does it say the character died? And crew member link terminated. It says deceased. He didn't decease. I don't think he did. Unless he ran out of oxygen. That may have been the case. Let's see. Yeah. The game is just messed up in its menus. It's not very well polished. Obviously. Yep. But what I was saying is, since this game is kind of about the achievements, and then I don't have all the achievements in the main game, there really isn't a reason, ignoring achievements at that point, to continue to play if I just find it frustrating just to get a 5-person escape. I think anybody watching at this point can easily imagine what a 5-person escape would look like. It's going to be buying a lot of reduction of corruption points, or crafting a bunch of that. It's going to probably happen after several runs in which we would just upgrade the Typhon abilities and human abilities to the max for each character, which would mean a lot of runs running around just collecting neuromods. It does feel like the game is being fairly generous with neuromods, and it's increasingly getting generous with neuromods. But even at that, it still could be a little grindy. I don't see myself spending 10 hours extra in this game for anything, let alone just to get 5 runs. I am enjoying the story modes somewhat, but they're obviously, in the engineer's case in particular, was just a lack of voice acting on this character and a lack of storytelling in any other way. There really needed to be a transcriber too, in which we found out that Joan was in love with the guy, and that's why she was doing all of this, because that really just was not being explained until far too late. But yeah, we now have like 3 characters that we can play with at the beginning to set things up and potentially clear areas out with, to then allow this character to do his story mission and this character to escape and then do their story mission. That does kind of suck, certainly, that there's 2. Let's go ahead and save and exit just to be careful. There's at least 2 more runs where ideally I could see a scenario where a speedrunner would like to play all of the challenges in one run, and if there was some way to do a speedrunning mode like that, that would have been nice. That being said, it has to be pointed out that Prey Mooncrash feels like a completely different game and a better game than the original Prey game. Feels like it was made by a completely different team, and I feel like the resources put into the original Prey could have made Prey Mooncrash more interesting, or vice versa even. We now have 2 games that are okay as separate experiences, but actually directly conflict with each other as combined experiences. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.